Do you have a pet, know an amputee, or someone with cancer? If so, you will likely be affected by biotechnology in the future. Even if these things don't apply to you, biotechnology may still play a role in your future. Biotechnology is the altering of a living creature's genes through science or technology. Frankenstein's Cat is a nonfiction book that describes many projects that have been done through biotechnology and the pros and cons of biotechnology. The author of Frankenstein's Cat is Emily Anthes. Anthes is a scientific journalist with works in Wired, Scientific American Mind, Discover, and many other prominent scientific magazines. Everybody should read Frankenstein's Cat before graduating high school because it'll play a role in your future. Even if you've already graduated high school, you should read this book because it'll come into play soon. Today I'd like to share with you the 3 reasons why you should read Frankenstein's Cat. Because it is interesting and educational, because it will challenge your morals, and because it is your future. The first reason you should read Frankenstein's Cat is because it is interesting and educational. Frankenstein's Cat will provide you with new information that you've probably never heard of before. I know when I first started reading this book, I didn't understand many of the processes of scientific methods or biotechnology. This book is not difficult to read like it sounds like it would be. Anthes makes everything simple and even uses humor to get her point across. She describes the science behind everything. I was intrigued when I first started reading because the first experiment described in this book is about a cat whose genes can be altered to make it glow in the dark. Anthes described how this works scientifically, and I followed along clearly, and it really hooked me into reading the rest of the book. You don't have to be an expert to understand the processes, and there's not a chock of scientific jargon throughout the book. Because it is interesting and educational is the first reason you should read Frankenstein's Cat. The second reason why you should read Frankenstein's Cat is because it will challenge your morals. Frankenstein's Cat discusses many ethically questionable topics, such as cloning. In my own microbiology class the other day, we discussed changing a baby's genes before it's born. Many people were vehemently against changing a baby's genes for superficial reasons like changing the sex or the eye color. When these same people were asked if it was okay to change a baby's genes for medical reasons, like to cure Down syndrome, many of the people were fine with it. This means that it is very considerable, and many people don't know where they stand. Reading this book will help you understand how you feel about biotechnology. Frankenstein's Cat also displays the pros and cons of biotechnology. It doesn't just show one side, so you know you're getting the full story. One of the pros of biotechnology is an example in the book of goats who have been altered so that their milk contains more nutrients that babies in third world countries need. These nutrients help these babies survive. One of the biggest cons of biotechnology is that people think it's unnatural and that the scientists who are toying with it are trying to play God. When you read this book, you have to see both sides of biotechnology and decide how you feel about it. Because it will challenge your morals is the second reason you should read Frankenstein's Cat. The third reason you should read Frankenstein's Cat is because it is your future. Frankenstein's Cat discusses the effects biotechnology will have on humans. It even goes as far to say that biotechnology can help cure cancer. There are projects being performed right now on mice to see how cancer might be cured in humans. There's also research being done on how to cure or help someone who's lost a limb through prosthetic limbs. One animal in the book is a dolphin who's lost its tail and a neck. Scientists help give the dolphin back a prosthetic tail, and it makes it as if the dolphin never lost its tail and learns how to swim. This could easily be applied to humans who have lost a limb and need to get a prosthetic one to help them walk or use their arms again. According to the OECD, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the U.S. spends the most money on biotechnology research. The U.S. spends 70% of the funding towards biotechnology. This means that if you live in the U.S., you are likely to be affected by biotechnology because we are trying the hardest to find out about it. Biotechnology isn't just for medical reasons either. It also has a play in the government. Scientists hack into bugs and plug them with wires so that they are able to control the body. They use this in the government to spy and to get these bugs into rooms where they can tap in and listen. Biotechnology applies to all different fields of life. Because it is your future is the third reason you should read Frankenstein's Cat. Today I've shared with you the 3 reasons why you should read Frankenstein's Cat. Because it is interesting and educational, because it challenges your morals, and because it is your future. Aristotle once said, "Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all." You need to keep this quote in mind when reading Frankenstein's cat. When you're reading about the pros and cons, you need to keep in mind how you feel about them and how it affects your morals. You can't just learn with your head, you also have to use your heart.